A woman's hand trembles as she holds a medical report. Red letters stamped across the top. HIV positive. May 15th, 2015. Dubai. 3:47 p.m. A 27-year-old flight attendant just learned she's dying. And the man who infected her? His name is engraved in gold on a children's hospital wing 3 miles away. Sheikh, billionaire, philanthropist. He's been doing this for years. She's not the first woman he destroyed. She won't be the last. But here's what he doesn't know. She isn't going to disappear quietly. She's going to dig. She's going to search. She's going to find the others, and what she discovers in encrypted messages and deleted posts will lead her to 3 other women, 3 other victims, 3 other lives erased. Together, they're about to expose a secret that will shatter one of Dubai's most powerful families. 47 women, 1 predator, and a flight attendant from Manila who refused to stay silent. Welcome to True Crime Story Files. Real people, real crimes, real consequences, because every story matters. Subscribe now, turn on the bell, and step inside the world where truth meets tragedy. This is her story. Before Rosalie Domingo ever stepped foot in Dubai, she was just a daughter trying to save her family. Manila, Philippines. October 2013. She's standing in line at a Western Union remittance center in Quezon City, clutching a withdrawal slip for 8,000 pesos, about $170. It's everything she's saved from 3 months of working the graveyard shift at a call center. Her phone rings. It's her younger sister, Tessie. "At, did you send the money yet? My tuition is due tomorrow." Rosalie glances at her bank balance. 6,847 pesos. Tessie's tuition is 12,000. If she sends everything, she won't have enough for rent. But Tessie is in her 2nd year of nursing school. She's the smart one, the one who's going to make it out. So Rosalie lies. "More is coming, Tess. I promise." The fear that keeps Rosalie awake at night has a name. Tito Rodell. He's the neighborhood loan shark. In January 2014, her father borrowed 280,000 pesos from him to cover medical bills after Rosalie's mother had a gallbladder operation. 20% interest. Monthly. One afternoon, Rosalie comes home to find Tito Rodell in their living room. Her father sits on the worn sofa, head down. Tito Rodell's voice is casual, but the threat is clear. "Mang Ernesto, we've been very patient. Your daughter in the call center, she's sending money, yes? Because if the payments stop, we'll have to take the jeepney." That night, she applies for a job with Emirates Airlines. The salary, if she gets hired, is triple what she makes at the call center. Enough to cover Tito Rodell's payments. Enough to keep Tessie in school. She gets accepted in February 2014. Before she leaves for Dubai, she's at Ninoy Aquino International Airport, killing time in the duty-free section. She picks up a lipstick, deep red, 600 pesos. She holds it for a long time, imagining what it would feel like to buy something just for herself. She brings it to the counter. The cashier rings it up. Then Rosalie thinks about Tessie's tuition, about the interest payment due next week, about her father's face when Tito Rodell stood in their living room. She hands the lipstick back. "I'm sorry. I changed my mind." The guilt of wanting something for herself is unbearable. There's a photo Rosalie carries in her wallet. Her mother's hands folded in prayer. The skin is cracked from years of washing other people's floors. The knuckles are swollen, but they're still her mother's hands, still beautiful in the way that sacrifice is beautiful. March 2014. Dubai International Airport. When Rosalie steps off the plane, the heat hits her like a wall. She's here on an employment visa sponsored by Emirates Airlines. It's called the kafala system. What it means, her legal right to stay in the UAE is tied entirely to her employer. No sponsor, no visa. No visa, deportation. She can't quit without permission. She can't change jobs without a release letter. If Emirates decides tomorrow they don't want her, she has 30 days to leave. She's not an employee. She's tethered. Her first international flight is London to Dubai. Business class service. That's where she meets Sheikh Amira al-Rashid. Amira is elegant in the way only very wealthy women can be. Custom-tailored abaya, understated jewelry. She orders tea with precise instructions. Earl Grey, no sugar, lukewarm. Rosalie brings the tea on a tray. That's when she notices it. A bruise on Amira's wrist, just visible beneath a diamond bracelet. Their eyes meet for a fraction of a second. Amira's gaze is hollow, almost pleading. Then she looks away, adjusting the bracelet to cover the bruise. Over the next 6 weeks, Rosalie sees Amira 3 more times, all on the same route. London to Dubai, business class. The second time, late March, Amira is wearing sunglasses indoors. Her hand shakes when she lifts her teacup. A new bruise near her collarbone. Amira tips 200 dirhams for a cup of tea. The fourth time, early May. Amira tucks a napkin under her empty teacup. Written in elegant script, a phone number. And below it, just 2 words. If needed. 2 months later, Rosalie gets a text from an unknown number. This is Amira. I'm hosting a private charity event next week. I'd like to hire you for the evening. 3,000 dirhams for 4 hours. Are you available? 3,000 dirhams is more than she makes in 2 weeks. She texts back. Yes. July 2014. The Grand Marquis Hotel, downtown Dubai. Amira's charity gala. Rosalie is there as Amira's private hire, off-duty from Emirates, paid in cash. The ballroom is massive. Marble floors, cold air conditioning, the smell of oud incense. On stage, a man in a pristine white thobe gives a speech about empowering women through education. His voice is smooth, practiced, confident. Sheikh Tariq al-Rashid, 52 years old. Billionaire real estate developer, Oxford educated. His name is on hospitals, schools, community centers across the Emirates. Rosalie refills water glasses. That's when she notices the young man in the front row, scrolling through Instagram. Khalid al-Rashid, 19 years old, Tariq's son. He glances up when she refills his glass, nods absently, goes back to his phone. She doesn't exist to him. A minute later, he drapes an arm around his father's shoulders for a selfie. The caption, "Proud son, blessed. Charity work with the best role model." She watches the likes roll in. After the gala, Rosalie rides the metro back to her shared apartment in Dira. She's exhausted. But she can't stop thinking about Amira, about the bruises, about the phone number on the napkin. Why does a woman who has everything keep asking for her? And why does she look so afraid in her own home? If you've ever sent money home while going hungry yourself, if you've ever smiled through shame because your family needed you strong, you already understand Rosalie. Hit the subscribe button because her story deserves to be told. And so does yours. September 2014. Al Barsha District, Dubai. Amira's villa sits behind high walls and security gates. Rosalie is invited for what Amira calls a private lunch. The dining room overlooks a manicured garden with imported palm trees and a fountain that runs all day in a city built on desert. But Rosalie isn't looking at the luxury. She's noticing the details that don't fit. During lunch, Amira keeps adjusting her sleeves. New bruises, faint fingerprints on her forearm. When Rosalie's hand accidentally brushes hers, Amira flinches. The villa is too quiet. No staff, just Amira and Rosalie. The silence feels deliberate. Finally, Amira speaks. He gets difficult sometimes, my husband, when he's stressed. Rosalie says nothing. If you could help me, just be there sometimes. When I'm traveling, keep him occupied. Keep him calm. She slides an envelope across the table. Inside, stacks of bills, enough to clear half of her father's debt to Tito Rodell. I can't, Rosalie starts. You can, Amira interrupts. You're alone here, no family, no connections. You work for an airline that can replace you tomorrow. You send money home every month, and it's never enough. I know because I've watched you. This is just companionship, Amira says. Dinners, conversations. My husband values intelligence, that's all. But the way she says it tells a different story. Rosalie doesn't take the envelope that day. But she doesn't leave it behind either. 2 weeks later, the offer comes directly from Sheikh Tariq al-Rashid. Late evening, Rosalie finishes a Dubai to Singapore flight and checks her phone. There's a message from an unknown number. This is Tariq al-Rashid. My wife speaks highly of you. I'd like to meet. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. A car will pick you up. It's not a request. It's an expectation. The next evening, a black Mercedes arrives. The driver doesn't speak. The Marina apartment building has a lobby like a 5-star hotel. Marble floors. A concierge who nods at her like he's seen this before, young women arriving alone in the evening. Tariq answers the door himself. White linen shirt, tailored pants. He smiles like they're old friends. Rosalie, thank you for coming. Please, sit. Floor-to-ceiling windows show the marina below, boats lit up like floating jewelry. He pours 2 glasses of wine. Rosalie doesn't drink hers. Tariq gets straight to the point. Your family owes money. 280,000 pesos. 20% interest monthly. The lender is not a patient man. Rosalie's stomach drops. How does he know this? I make it my business to know the people in my life. I can make that debt disappear, all of it, tonight. And beyond that, I can ensure your sister finishes nursing school. I can help your parents buy a house. He leans back, relaxed. All I need is companionship. When my wife is traveling, someone discreet. That's all. Rosalie knows what he's really asking. I should go, she says quietly. Sit, Tariq says. Not loudly, but the command is clear. She sits. Let me be clear, Rosalie. This is a transaction, a fair one. You help me when I need company. I help your family survive. You can walk out tonight and go back to your life, sending every dirham home, watching your father dodge loan collectors. Or you can be smart. He turns to look at her. Your visa is tied to Emirates. One complaint from the right person, and you're deported in 72 hours. But if you're helpful to me, you're protected. Understood? She thinks about her father's face when Tito Rodell stood in their living room. She thinks about Tessie's tuition. She thinks about her mother's hands. She thinks about survival. Okay, she whispers. The first visit happens in late September. The second in early October. By November, there's a routine. He texts when she's off duty. She comes. Always at the Marina apartment. Never the family villa. He never uses protection. The first time she tries to bring it up, he cuts her off. I'm tested regularly by private doctors. Full panels every 6 months. Don't worry about it. His tone makes it clear the subject is closed. Over the months, she notices things that don't add up. He's obsessive about certain aspects of his health, refuses to shake hands with strangers, wipes down surfaces constantly, carries hand sanitizer everywhere. But careless about others. Never protection. Dismissive when she hesitates. "The rules don't apply to men like me," he says one night. "When you have enough money, you can control everything, even biology." The visits continue through winter into 2015. 8 months total. September 2014 to May 2015. The money comes as promised. Her father's debt shrinks. Tessie's tuition is paid. Her parents start looking at small houses in Cavite. Her family is being saved. But Rosalie's body is starting to betray her. It begins in February 2015. She wakes up drenched in sweat, low-grade fever. By March, she's losing weight. By April, her gums bleed when she brushes her teeth. She develops a rash. She's exhausted all the time. She tells herself it's stress. It's the heat. It's working too much. She's afraid to go to a doctor because she's afraid of what they might find. So she ignores it. In early May, during what will turn out to be her last visit, Tariq is in an unusually good mood. He's closed a major development deal. He pours champagne. "You don't look well," Tariq says. "You should see a doctor." 2 days later, on May 15th, 2015, she finally goes to a clinic. By then, it's too late. May 2015. The nights after the diagnosis are the worst. Rosalie lies in her shared apartment, staring at the ceiling while her roommate Maricel sleeps above her. She can't sleep. Every time she closes her eyes, she sees that red stamp, HIV positive. So she researches. She types into Google, "Dubai domestic worker HIV, Filipina sick deported UAE." She joins Expat forums, private Facebook groups where women share warnings about dangerous employers. And slowly, in deleted threads and coded language, she starts finding fragments. A Reddit post from 2013. Housekeeper in Al Barsha got sick, deported, family paid off to stay quiet. A blog post from 2012. Certain households in luxury compounds, especially in Al Barsha. Be very careful. Girls go in healthy. Some don't come out the same. Then, on a memorial Facebook page, she finds a name. A face. Siti Rahayu. Born 1987, Jakarta. Died 2014, Surabaya. Cause of death. Complications from illness. A few photos. Siti smiling in a headscarf. Siti with her 3 young children. The comments are in Indonesian. Rosalie uses Google Translate. Gone too soon. Rest in peace, sister. May God forgive those who hurt you. That last comment stops her. May God forgive those who hurt you. By late May, she's found enough fragments to know this isn't random. There's a pattern. Women working in Al Barsha, wealthy households, sudden departures, families receiving money with instructions to stay quiet. In early June, Rosalie creates an anonymous Signal account. She posts in encrypted WhatsApp groups. Looking to connect with anyone who worked for Al Rashid family, Al Barsha compound, Dubai, between 2010 present. Confidential. You're not alone. For 2 days, nothing. Then on June 8th, a voice message arrives. The sender's profile shows only Dewi. The voice is Indonesian, but Dewi speaks in broken English. My sister, her name's Siti. She worked there, 2012-2013, nanny, the man, the father. He come to her room at night, many times. She cannot say no. He control her visa. Then she gets sick, very sick. They send her home. Hospitals say HIV. She die in 2014. She have 3 children. 3 babies with no mother now. Dewey's voice breaks. They give money. 20,000 dirham. They say don't talk. My mother, take the money. We need it. But I want someone to know. She was good, mother. She didn't deserve this. The next day, an encrypted email from someone calling herself Priya. I was housekeeper there in 2011. He did the same to me. When I tried to tell the agency, they deported me within a week. Now I'm back in Colombo. I can't afford treatment. I'm dying slowly. And no one cares because I'm just a maid who got sick in Dubai. On June 15th, a third message. A Filipina using a fake name, Linda. I was there 2010 to 2011. I saw what he did. The wife, she knew. She's the one who chose which girls to send to him. Like we were offerings. Please don't use my real name. I'm still in Dubai. If they find out I talked, I'll disappear. 3 women. 5 years. The same man. The same pattern of abuse, infection, deportation, silence. On June 20th, Rosalie takes a taxi to Bur Dubai police station. She's dressed in her Emirates uniform. She carries a folder with printed screenshots, email exchanges, the timeline she's constructed. For 90 minutes, she tells the detective everything. The arrangement, the lack of protection, the diagnosis, the other women. He takes notes. He's professional, not dismissive. When she finishes, he stamps her report with an official seal and gives her a case reference number. We'll look into this. These cases involving prominent families are complicated. But we have your statement on record now. Rosalie walks out feeling something she hasn't felt in weeks. Relief. Hope. She doesn't know yet that within 48 hours, her visa will be flagged. She doesn't know that Emirates will receive a call from someone in government relations. She doesn't know that reporting powerful men in Dubai doesn't start investigations. It starts deportations. June 22nd, 2015, 2 days after Rosalie files her police report. Her phone rings. Emirates crew scheduling. Rosalie Domingo, you're required to report to Human Resources tomorrow morning at 9. This is mandatory. No explanation. The next morning, the HR officer is a British woman in her 50s, perfectly professional. Miss Domingo, please sit. The woman doesn't waste time. During a routine audit, irregularities were detected in your file. Your work permit shows discrepancies regarding declared income. She slides a paper across the desk. It's Rosalie's Philippine bank statement with large deposits highlighted in yellow. These deposits don't match your Emirates salary. Can you explain? Those deposits are from Tariq, but she can't say that. Gifts from family, she manages. Gifts totaling over 60,000 dirhams in 8 months. Miss Domingo, Emirates has zero tolerance for visa fraud. Your employment is terminated effective immediately. You have 72 hours to arrange departure from the UAE. Wait, I haven't done anything wrong. The failure to declare them is the violation. The woman closes the folder. This meeting is concluded. 48 hours. That's all it took from filing a police report to losing her job and her legal right to stay. The kafala system works exactly as designed. That afternoon, Rosalie goes back to Bur Dubai police station. The same detective looks uncomfortable. Miss Domingo, I was going to call you. They're deporting me. I reported a crime and now I'm being deported. He lowers his voice. Without physical evidence directly linking Sheikh al-Rashid to the transmission, there's insufficient grounds. The medical records from the other women, those are in different countries. We'd need international cooperation. So he just gets away with it? The detective's face softens. I'm sorry. These cases involving prominent families are extremely difficult. Your report is filed. That's all I can tell you. Translation: it's buried. Next, she tries the Philippine embassy. The OA officer is a Filipina woman with tired eyes. Rosalie explains everything. The woman sighs. Without criminal charges filed in the UAE, there's nothing we can do from here. Pursuing a case against a UAE national in UAE courts when you're being deported, these cases are very, very difficult. So I just leave? I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying the system doesn't protect women like you. It protects men like him. I'm sorry. Then her phone rings. Unknown number. Hello? Rosalie? It's Amira. What did you do? I reported him. I had to. You stupid girl. Do you have any idea what you've done? He knows. He knows you went to the police. You knew, Rosalie says, shaking with anger. You sent me to him. You sent Siti. You sent Priya. How many others, Amira? Silence. Then Amira's voice, barely a whisper. I was protecting myself. If I didn't give him someone else, he would have... She stops. You need to leave Dubai. Tonight. Not in 72 hours. Tonight. I have 72 hours to... They're coming for you. Do you understand? There are people who make problems disappear in this city. You need to get on a plane tonight. Who's coming? The line goes dead. For the first time since the diagnosis, Rosalie feels real, physical fear. She books the earliest flight to Manila, leaving tomorrow morning. She withdraws what money she has. 14,000 dirhams. Everything else is trapped in the system. That night, she doesn't sleep. In the morning, her roommate Maricel hugs her goodbye. What happened, Ate? I'll explain later. Dubai International Airport is chaos. Rosalie checks in, hands over her passport, watches the agent's screen for alerts. But her deportation order hasn't hit the system yet. She gets her boarding pass. Security, immigration. The officer stamps her exit without looking twice. She's through. She passes St. Mary's Catholic Church, a small chapel between gates. She thinks about going in, about praying, about asking God why. But she keeps walking. If God protected women like her, she wouldn't be on this plane. She finds her gate, pulls out the photo of her mother's hands. The paper is soft from being folded so many times. She's going home. But home isn't safe either. Home is where she'll have to hide her diagnosis because the stigma will destroy them. Dubai wouldn't listen. Will anyone? This is where most women's stories end. Deported, erased, forgotten. But you're still watching. Which means you believe Rosalie deserves more than silence. Comment below where you're watching from. Let every woman who's been dismissed know we see you. August 2015, Manila, San Lazaro Hospital. The HIV treatment clinic operates out of a building behind the main hospital. When Rosalie arrives for her first appointment, there are already 40 people waiting. The room is hot. The air conditioning broke weeks ago. She takes a number. 83. The display shows they're serving 41. She waits 4 hours. The doctor is efficient, overwhelmed. Your CD4 count is low, but not critical. We'll start you on antiretrovirals. 3 pills, once daily, same time every day. You cannot miss doses. The medication is subsidized. 3,500 pesos per month. Can you afford that? $75. Rosalie has 200,000 pesos left from Dubai. It has to cover rent, food, transportation, and medication. Yes, the doctor writes the prescription. If the medication is working, you should be undetectable within 6 months. Undetectable. It means the virus is still there, but suppressed. It means she can live something close to a normal lifespan. It doesn't mean she's cured. There is no cure. Back home, Rosalie begins her second investigation. She submits a detailed report through Migrant Rights International's website. They're a UK-based non-profit documenting labor abuses in the Gulf. Within 3 days, they call. We'll need to verify everything independently, but if what you're saying is accurate, this could be part of a larger pattern. Next, Rosalie reaches out to a journalist. Layla Hassan, Syrian, based in Doha, works for Al Jazeera English. Rosalie sends a detailed email explaining everything. Layla responds with a phone number. The conversation starts cautiously. I get pitched stories every day. Some are true, some are fabricated. Why should I believe you? Because I'm not the first woman this happened to. And if you don't help me, I won't be the last. Can you connect me with other victims? Any documentation? 3 other women. I have their testimony recorded. Screenshots, timelines. Medical records from one victim's death certificate. Pause. Then Layla's voice softens. Send me everything. But I need you to understand, getting justice against a wealthy Gulf national is nearly impossible. I know. But someone has to try. Another pause. Then Layla speaks with a weight that wasn't there before. When I was 12, my Aunt Salma went to Kuwait as a domestic worker. 6 months later, the family said she'd run away. 3 weeks later, Kuwaiti police found a body in a dumpster. It was Salma. The investigation lasted 1 day. They said these things happen with foreign workers. No charges. I'm sorry, Rosalie whispers. I became a journalist, so it doesn't happen again. Send me everything. I'll look into it. Over the next 6 weeks, MRI and Layla work in parallel. MRI verifies City's death certificate, confirms Priya's deportation records, confirms Linda's employment timeline. The pattern is there. Multiple women, multiple years, same household. But they don't have proof that Sheikh Tariq knew he was HIV positive when he infected these women. And without that proof, everything is just hearsay. Women's words against a billionaire. They need medical records, documentation showing Tariq was diagnosed and deliberately didn't disclose. They need a whistleblower, and in late October 2015, they're about to get one. October 28, 2015, 2:43 a.m. Doha time. Layla Hassan is reviewing documents when her secure email pings. Subject line, Al-Rashid investigation, medical evidence available. The message is in careful English, no name. I work at a private medical center in Dubai. I've been treating Sheikh Tariq Al-Rashid since 2009. I watched him receive an HIV-positive diagnosis in March 2011. For the past 4 years, I've refilled his antiretroviral prescriptions, monitored his viral load, and documented his repeated non-compliance. I've documented his explicit refusal to disclose his status to household staff or intimate partners. When I suggested he had an ethical obligation to inform people he was sleeping with, he said, "I pay you to keep me healthy and your mouth shut. Remember who controls your visa." Layla reads it 3 times. The whistleblower explains they have a daughter who's moving to Dubai next year. Last week, she called me excited about her new life. And all I could think was, what if she ends up working for someone like him? I've been complicit for years. The trigger was my daughter. I can't do it anymore. The email offers medical records with identifying information redacted, prescription histories, clinical notes, email correspondence. I cannot testify publicly. I have family on dependent visas. But I can give you documentation. Make this count. Over the next 2 weeks, through encrypted channels, the evidence arrives. First, Tariq's diagnosis record from March 2011. HIV positive. Referred for immediate antiretroviral therapy. Second, 4 years of prescription refills. The pattern is damning. Regular refills 2011-2013. Then gaps. Long stretches with no medication, followed by urgent refills. Clinical notes. Patient shows inconsistent medication adherence despite repeated counseling. Viral load elevated to dangerous levels during non-compliant periods, particularly 2014-2015. Third, clinical notes from appointments. One from August 2014. Patient refuses standard disclosure protocols regarding sexual partners and household staff, states that privacy management is his priority. Counseled on legal and ethical obligations, patient dismissed concerns. Fourth, email correspondence between Tariq and the clinic discussing discretion, confidentiality, reputation protection. It's everything they need. Documentary evidence showing Tariq knew his status, was inconsistent with treatment, had dangerously high viral loads, and refused to disclose. MRI's legal team begins building the case. UK human trafficking laws in the Modern Slavery Act of 2015 allow prosecution of crimes committed abroad if the perpetrator holds UK citizenship. Tariq studied at Oxford and maintains a UK passport. But while lawyers are building their case, something else is happening in Dubai. Mid-November 2015. Rosalie's phone rings. UAE area code. Hello? Rosalie, Amira's voice, barely a whisper. I know what you're doing. Please, stop this. You knew what he did. You sent us to him like we were disposable. I had no choice. If I didn't give him someone else, he would have killed me. He's killed before. Rosalie goes cold. What? A housemaid in 2009, Ethiopian woman. She threatened to report him. They found her body at the bottom of the stairwell. Police called it suicide. It wasn't. He had her killed, and he told me afterward to make sure I understood what happens to women who talk. Silence. Then testify. Tell the truth. If I do that, I lose everything. My home, my status, my son. Khalid doesn't know any of this. If you destroy Tariq, you destroy Khalid's entire life. Siti had a daughter. She's 9 years old. She'll grow up without her mother. Long silence, just Amira's breathing. If this goes public, I'll have to choose between protecting my son and telling the truth. You already made that choice, Rosalie says. When you sent me to him. Amira hangs up. At the same time in London, 19-year-old Khalid al-Rashid is in a university cafe with his classmate Beatrice. Beatrice scrolls through her phone. Have you seen this? Some labor rights organization investigating a Dubai Sheikh. They're saying he deliberately infected domestic workers with HIV. Khalid glances over. Which Sheikh? Beatrice shows him the article. Headline: Anonymous sources allege systematic abuse by Al-Rashid family, Al-Barsha compound, Dubai. Khalid's stomach drops. That's just allegations, right? I don't know. Multiple women claiming the same thing, different years. That's weird for made-up stories. Khalid leaves the cafe. In his dorm room, he starts searching. He finds Siti's memorial page, her children. He finds references to a Sri Lankan woman deported in 2011. He finds warnings on Expat forums. His hands shake as he calls his mother. Mother, I need you to tell me the truth. Is it true? About the workers? About father? Long pause. It's complicated, Khalid. That's not an answer. Did he do it? Your father made some mistakes, but we're handling it. Did he know? Did he know he was sick? We're handling it. Focus on your studies. He hangs up. For 3 days, Khalid doesn't sleep. He searches for more information, piecing together a picture of his father he's never seen. The man who took him to charity events, who gave speeches about empowering women, who funded hospitals. That man deliberately infected vulnerable women with a deadly virus. And his mother knew, and covered it up. Khalid stares at his Instagram bio. Khalid al-Rashid, proud son, building a better future. He deletes it. Back in Manila, Layla calls Rosalie. The legal team is ready. MRI is filing charges in UK Crown Court next week under the Modern Slavery Act. This is happening. But once we file, this becomes public. Your name, your story, everything. Are you ready? Rosalie thinks about Siti's daughter, about Priya dying in Colombo, about the next woman who will board a plane to Dubai not knowing. Yes, I'm ready. This is the moment where silence becomes complicity. The whistleblower risked everything. Layla risked her reputation. Rosalie risked her life. What are you willing to risk? A like? A share? A subscription? Because that's how we make sure stories like this can't be buried anymore. December 12th, 2015, 6:00 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. The story breaks across 3 continents simultaneously. Al Jazeera English publishes a 40-minute investigative documentary titled The Disposable Women of Dubai, Serial HIV Transmission in Elite Households. The documentary opens with Rosalie's face pixelated, voice disguised, telling her story in devastating detail. At the same moment, in London, Migrant Rights International files formal charges in UK Crown Court against Sheikh Tariq al-Rashid. The charges cite the Modern Slavery Act of 2015, legislation that allows the UK to prosecute human trafficking offences committed abroad if the perpetrator is a British national. Tariq holds a UK passport from his Oxford days. He owns properties in London worth £47 million. The charges are specific: reckless transmission of a serious communicable disease, human trafficking, coercion, conspiracy to obstruct justice. By 9:00 a.m. London time, the hashtag #NastraJustice for Rosalie is trending globally. Within 8 hours, it reaches 1.2 million tweets. But social media is messy. Some comments are supportive. This woman is incredibly brave. Protect her at all costs. Others are vicious. Gold digger caught a disease, and now she wants money. She knew exactly what she was doing. Rosalie's phone fills with messages, some from women thanking her, others are death threats. Whore. You deserved it. But something else happens. Women start coming forward, not just from the al-Rashid household, from dozens of wealthy families across the Gulf, Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, UAE. By the end of the first week, 47 women have contacted MRI with similar stories. Different employers, same pattern: wealthy men, domestic workers, sexual coercion, disease transmission, deportation, silence. The story is bigger than one family. It's systemic. December 15th, 2015, Heathrow Airport, London, Terminal 5. Sheikh Tariq al-Rashid arrives on an Emirates first-class flight from Dubai. He's in London for business meetings. He's made this trip dozens of times. He clears passport, control, collects his luggage, and walks toward the exit. That's when UK border force officers approach. Sheikh Tariq al-Rashid? Yes. You're under arrest on charges of human trafficking, reckless transmission of disease, and conspiracy. The handcuffs click around his wrists. Photographers, tipped off by someone, swarm the arrivals hall. Camera flashes explode. Reporters shout questions. For the first time in Tariq's life, his face shows genuine fear. He's escorted through the terminal in handcuffs, past travelers filming on their phones. The man whose name is engraved on hospital wings is being perp-walked through Heathrow like a common criminal. The footage goes viral within minutes. In London, Khalid is in his flat when his phone starts buzzing. Messages from friends. "Is this your dad?" He opens Al Jazeera's website and watches the documentary. All 40 minutes. Rosalie's disguised voice, Dewey crying about City, Priya explaining her deportation, the medical records, the timeline. And then, halfway through, leaked audio. Someone recorded Tariq at a private dinner party. His father's voice, unmistakable. The thing about hiring these women is they're replaceable. That's the whole point. You use them, and when they become inconvenient, you replace them. That's why we hire foreigners. No local connections. No one who cares if they disappear. Laughter in the background. Khalid sits on his couch, staring at the screen. Everything he believed about his father, the charity work, the hospitals, the speeches about empowerment, all of it was built on bodies. He thinks about the nanny who made his breakfast when he was 7. Where did she go? He thinks about the housekeepers who changed over the years. Where are they now? He never wondered because he never had to. Through MRI's London office, Khalid gets Rosalie's contact information. He calls. She doesn't answer. He calls again. No answer. Third time, he leaves a voicemail. "My name is Khalid. I'm Tariq's son. I know you have no reason to talk to me. But I need to hear your voice. I need to apologize. Please." The fourth time he calls, she picks up. "What do you want?" Her voice is flat, exhausted. "I didn't know. I swear I didn't know what he was doing." Long pause. "You didn't want to know," Rosalie says quietly. "That's different." "What can I do? I'm changing my name. I'm cutting him off completely. I'm donating my trust fund. What else can I do?" "You can live with it," Rosalie says. "The way I have to live with this virus. The way Siti's daughter has to live without her mother. The way Priya has to live sick and broke in Colombo. You can carry that weight and not let it crush you. That's what you can do." "I'm sorry," Khalid whispers. "I know it's not enough, but I'm sorry. You didn't do this, but you benefited from it. Every meal you ate, every tuition payment, every privilege you've ever had, all of it built on suffering you refused to see. That's not nothing." Neither of them hangs up. The call lasts 4 minutes and 17 seconds. Both of them cry. Neither of them forgives. Neither of them forgets. The next day, Khalid releases a public statement. He's changing his surname from Al-Rashid to Hassan, his mother's maiden name. He's donating his entire trust fund, £3.2 million, to migrant worker advocacy organizations. He denounces his father publicly. It doesn't undo anything, but it's something. In a Dubai courtroom, accessed via video link, Amira Al-Rashid testifies. She's wearing simple clothes, no jewelry. Her hands shake. "I knew what my husband was doing. I sent women to him because I was afraid. I told myself I was protecting myself. My status, my lifestyle, my son's future. I was wrong. I enabled a predator for years because it was easier than confronting him. I am complicit in this." Her testimony includes financial records showing Tariq laundered money through fake charitable foundations, millions funneled to offshore accounts. In exchange, Amira receives immunity from prosecution, a divorce settlement, and witness protection. Business partners distance themselves from Tariq. Hospitals in Dubai begin removing his name from wings and plaques. The Al Rashid Pediatric Center becomes the Dubai Children's Hospital. Oxford University revokes his honorary degree. His real estate empire starts collapsing under boycotts and investigations. And in Manila, Rosalie sits in her childhood bedroom, watching it all unfold on her laptop. She should feel victorious. Instead, she feels exhausted and afraid, because now the whole world knows her name, and she's about to find out what happens when you win. March 18th, 2016, UK Crown Court, London, 9:47 a.m. Rosalie testifies via secure video link from Manila. Her face is pixelated on courtroom monitors. Her voice comes through speakers, clear but disembodied. The prosecutor asks her to state her name. Rosalie Domingo. Miss Domingo, in your own words, what do you want from this case? Rosalie takes a breath. I want every woman working abroad. Whether you're a flight attendant, a nurse, a housekeeper, a teacher, whether you're serving food or just trying to survive far from home, I want you to know that you are not disposable. Your life has value. Your voice matters. And when powerful people tell you to stay quiet, to take the money, to disappear because speaking up will ruin your career or your visa or your reputation, I want you to know that refusing to disappear is the most dangerous thing you can do, but it's also the most powerful. Do you have any regrets about coming forward? Long pause. Rosalie looks directly at the camera. I regret that I had to become my own justice. I regret that the system forced me to choose between silence and survival. I regret that speaking out cost me my health, my safety, my home. I regret that doing the right thing required me to sacrifice everything. Her voice hardens. But I don't regret fighting back and will never apologize for refusing to be erased. The courtroom is silent. The testimony ends. The video link disconnects. Rosalie sits in the MRI safe house in Manila, staring at the blank screen. Tariq is in prison. 12 years, eligible for parole in 8. But the other sheikhs Layla identified fled before charges could be filed. They're in Saudi Arabia, in Oman, in countries that don't extradite. They're still hiring, still operating. The kafala system that enabled all of this, still in place. The UAE announced reforms, new regulations, better protections. But enforcement remains minimal. Cosmetic changes for international press, not actual safety. And tomorrow, another young woman from a village in Indonesia or a slum in Colombo will board a plane to Dubai, carrying her family's survival in a suitcase, believing hard work will protect her. The cycle continues. On her laptop, Rosalie opens 2 browser windows side by side. Left, a news article with Tariq being led into HMP Belmarsh, orange prison uniform, gaunt face, hands cuffed. Right, her own reflection in her phone screen. She looks thinner, older. The medication keeps her viral load undetectable, but it doesn't erase the exhaustion in her eyes. She thinks about what victory actually means. Tariq is in prison, but he'll likely serve 8 years. He's 54 now, he'll be 62 when released. Still alive, still wealthy, his assets frozen but not entirely seized. Still connected. Meanwhile, Siti is dead. She died at 27 without ever seeing justice. Priya is dying in Colombo, unable to afford consistent treatment. Linda changed her name and disappeared. Maricel lost her job for being Rosalie's friend. The whistleblower still treats wealthy families in Dubai, still carries the guilt, still can't speak openly. And Rosalie? She can't go back to Dubai, can't work as a flight attendant, can't travel freely. Her family is under protection because men with money sent threats. She won the case. But what did she actually win? Her phone buzzes, another message. She checks the sender before opening. This one is from a woman in Bangladesh. My sister was offered a housekeeping job in Dubai. I showed her your story. She declined. Thank you for saving her. Rosalie reads it twice. Then she opens her journal, the same cheap spiral notebook where she first wrote down Dewey's testimony, Priya's timeline, Linda's warnings. She turns to a blank page and writes, "Justice isn't a verdict, it's visibility. It's the refusal to let suffering stay nameless. It's making sure that when the next woman boards that plane, she knows the risks. She knows the patterns. She knows she's not alone if it happens to her too. We didn't change the system, but we forced it to acknowledge we exist. That's something." She closes the journal. Outside, Manila traffic roars. Construction noise echoes. Life continues. Rosalie Domingo is 28 years old. She's HIV positive for life. She's exiled from the country where she tried to build a future. She's living on temporary charity in a safe house. But she's alive, and her name is no longer erased. Tariq's name, once engraved in gold on children's hospitals, is now being scraped off. His legacy is prison and disgrace. Rosalie's legacy is 47 women who came forward, a whistleblower who found courage, a journalist who told the truth, a son who renounced his father's name, a system that was forced, however briefly, to acknowledge its failures. It's not enough. It will never be enough. But it's not nothing. When the world is designed to erase you, refusing to stay silent is the most radical act of all. Justice isn't just a verdict handed down by judges, it's visibility. It's the refusal to let suffering remain nameless, hidden, acceptable. It's women like Rosalie saying, "I was here, this happened to me, and you will remember my name." Rosalie fought for months before anyone believed her. Siti died before anyone cared. Priya is still suffering while the world moves on to the next story. You have the power to make sure the next woman doesn't fight alone by subscribing to this channel for every story they tried to bury. Share this video. Comment, "I believe her," below. Because belief, your belief, is what transforms shame into solidarity. And that's how systems finally break.